G'day, I'm Mark Hoth and welcome to Swift Almanac, where we teach you the basics of Swift in 10 minutes or less. Today's lesson is on arrays. Arrays allow us to form stored lists of the same data type. Arrays are indexed from 0, just like in C and other derivative languages. So let's have a look at arrays in 10 minutes or less. Okay, so arrays are a list of any data type, and to initialize them, what we need to do is follow the syntax, which is the open brace, then the data type and close brace, and then we add a little initializer at the end. If we want to create a multi-dimensional array, so we create a two-dimensional array, then that is brace brace, int brace brace, and a little initializer. So for the examples, we're only going to use one-dimensional arrays because it becomes a little bit hairy. With the two-dimensional arrays or n-dimensional arrays, you can keep adding braces as often as you like. Okay, so in the print statement, we've got sumInts is of the type array of ints with sumInts.count items, and it prints out sumInts is of the type array ints with 0 items. So if we want to add some values to our array, we can use the append element, and we'll append or make space for 3 items. And if we want to get rid of or clear all of the items in the array, then we can just use the brace brace, and that will send it back to 0, and we can see that over here on the right hand side. Now when we set up our array, we might want to set some default values, and there's a couple of ways of doing that. So let's say we want an array of 3 doubles. We can just use array repeating with the value 0.0 and of count 3 times. So that will create an array with 0.0 3 times. And if we have another array, or another 3 doubles in fact, we can make that repeating. The element will be 2.5. In fact, we don't even want and 3 more. Then that is going to give us eventually, when it gets to it, an array of 3 items, which is the count and the value 2.5 in each of them. So if you want to add these arrays together, we can create another array called 6 doubles, and that can just equal to 3 doubles, and add them with another 3 doubles. Now in this case, you can only add these 2 arrays together. You can only add these 2 arrays together when they're of the same type, and of course 6 doubles is going to be inferred as the type array of doubles, just like these other 2 were. You can also create an array with literals. So we can go shopping list, put a colon, and then we'll have an array of strings. If I can spell string. And then we just add eggs, milk. And the other thing we can do is we can infer this array if we just pass it the array of strings, the compiler will figure out that shopping list inferred is an array of strings. No problem, and you can see those two things are identical. So there's a couple of little help class or helper methods. There's count and is empty. So count basically tells you the number of elements that are in the array, and is empty will tell you if that count is 0. So sumInts.count or sumInts.is empty, shopping list.count. Okay, and over here on the right hand side we can see that sumInts, which we didn't add any data to, has a count of 0. SumInts.is empty is true because it is empty. The count has, for the shopping list, is 2 because we have the 2 items, eggs and milk, and the shopping list inferred we didn't check, and shopping list.is empty is false because it has values in it. So let's look at adding, inserting items. So there's an append function which adds to the end of a list. So we can go shopping list.append, and we'll append flour. So that will append it to the end of the list here, eggs, milk, and flour. We can go let first item equal shopping list, and the first item is the 0th item, which is eggs, and then we can change that first item by going shopping list first item equals, say, 6 eggs. And now our array of shopping lists is going to have 3 items, and the first item is going to say 6 eggs. There it is. So you can also use the plus equal signs and range. So I'll just copy and paste these. So you can go shopping list plus equals baking powder, and that is going to put append baking powder to the end, and then we go plus equals and add a further array of strings, etc. In addition, we can use the range feature, so we can take the items 4 through to 6 and replace them with bananas and apples. So here we're removing 3 items and replacing them with 2. And we can insert at a particular position. So we can add maple syrup at the beginning or somewhere else. And then we can also remove from a position, from a particular position. And there's also a remove all function, but of course you can just use the equal braces if you want to get rid of everything. Okay, so in terms of the memory for arrays, it's important to understand arrays are mutable when created. That is, that you can change them when they're created, but when you assign arrays, they are passed by value, i.e. they are copied. So if we create a variable called initial ints, which is an array of ints that has the values 1, 2, and 3, and we create another variable more ints, which is just equal to initial ints, then we've got 2 copies of the same information. If we add 4, 5, 6 to initial ints, then we get an array of ints with 4, 5, 6 added to the end of it. And if we have more ints, then and we add this array of 7, 8, 9, then we get 2 different values here. So when you assign arrays, the array is copied. In the for loop, we just go for item in shopping list, print item, and the loop will go through every item in the array up to the maximum number of items in the array and access them within this closure. And we made it. Well, that's it for arrays. Hopefully you understand how to create arrays, access the data, and modify, delete as it's required. If you have any questions about this tutorial, then please leave a comment below or hit me up on Twitter @SwiftAlmanac. Please subscribe to the channel, it's free, and check out our website at www.swiftalmanac.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.